Greetings, cinephiles. Are you looking for a movie analysis podcast that stands above the rest? Then look no further than Collateral Cinema, the only movie podcast that matters.
We analyze good movies, we analyze bad movies, and yes, we also analyze the in-betweens of the world of cinema.
So if you like what you hear, find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and wherever you get your podcasts.
And yes, my friends, we are 420 friendly. So when you listen to us,
smoke it if you've got it.
And now, here's a new episode of Collateral Gaming. The show starts right now.
I'm Ashley Chancellor.
And I'm Bo Maddox.
And this is Collateral Gaming. Welcome to Collateral Gaming, the only video game podcast that matters, where we focus on good games, bad games, and everything else in between in the world of gaming. We're podcasting straight from somewhere in South Texas, and yes, my friends, emphasis on, yes, my friends, this is a 420 friendly podcast. A little bit belated, but this is the 420 special, right, Bo?
Yes, and there's a good reason why it's so belated here, right?
Yeah, so at the last minute, we kind of thought, hey, let's just do like a commentary on Conker's Bad Fur Day. I don't know, at the time I felt like that would be a little bit easier. So we tried to do that, and we recorded a whole, 2 hours. And it was unusable. Yeah. The gameplay would freeze at on a particular frame for several seconds at any given moment, and there was no game audio coming through. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a disaster. So I mean, yeah,
and we didn't find that out until after the fact.
Exactly. I mean, right when you're going and you're going to begin editing and everything. Yeah.
I don't know if it was because we were recording on my Xbox 360 or what, because I don't think we had any kind of issue like that when we were doing a live stream of the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations.
No, we didn't. But this time around, it was just slow and janky.
Yeah. I don't know what was different there, but anyway. Here we are doing our 420 special on Conker's Bad Fur Day, as well as its remake/remaster Conker Live and Reloaded.
Yeah, I understand that Conker Live and Reloaded, I mean, it's a complete remaster, right? Or is it a remake?
There's kind of a blur. It's kind of a gray
area, kind
of a gray area, yeah.
Yeah.
But somewhere in between, but mostly, just kind of like a visual overhaul. We'll kind of get into the differences between the two because, in particular, for our preparation for this episode, we were playing the Conker Live and Reloaded version on the Xbox.
Yeah, that was just the easiest way for us to get our hands on a copy of this game, more or less.
Yeah,
and right now we have gameplay footage of the original N64 game here on YouTube. Yeah, we didn't really get this far into the game, did we?
No, but I mean, you and I have both played through this game. It's been a while for both of us. And, I mean, yeah. I've kind of only played some. I've played some levels here and there, but I never played the game from start to finish.
Yeah.
But, Conker is just something that's kind of always been there. You go to somebody's house and they have an N64 and they've got Conker's Bad Fur Day, and it's a good time, especially if you're high.
But it was also really, really cool when you were younger and everything. I mean, this being a mature rated game that is more or less just kind of using the cutesy art style and everything to just kind of do a bunch of lewd jokes and whatnot. And I mean, back then, that was just when we were all like edgy little fucking, preteens or whatever, or teenagers. It's like, I mean, that was just innovative in its own right. I mean, we were just like, whoa, they're going to like cuss in this game, and Conker's going to like have blood and gore and all this shit. For Conker.
It was edgy to the max, and it had everything. The gore, poop jokes, lots and lots of poop.
The mother of all poop jokes, honestly. It's and quite possibly one of the greatest boss battles ever made in gaming, period.
I am the great mighty Pooh.
I'm here to throw my shit at you.
Fucking amazing. Conker's Bad Fur Day. It had all that. It had the sexuality. It had explicit language. Conker's Bad Fur Day didn't give a shit, and I think that was just that was crazy at the time. That was unheard of, almost. And there's kind of an interesting story behind that. So evidently, old Conker actually first showed up in Diddy Kong Racing, right?
Yeah, that's what made this sudden turnaround to adult-oriented content here so jarring in many ways, but also made it so much more awesome. Was that this was the squirrel from the Diddy Kong game? I mean, he hadn't even had his own mascot game yet, so.
He had one on the Game Boy Color.
A Game Boy Color, yeah. But I'm talking like a mainline, console release.
Right. So, it's just kind of an interesting history here. So he's just a character in Diddy Kong Racing. Still, fits in with that game, which is family friendly. Then he has his own Game Boy Color game that's family friendly, and this game originally in development was going to be family friendly, right?
It was pretty much going to be this really safe, family friendly, cutesy mascot game. I mean, that's what it was going to be.
The problem is that it just felt way too derivative, I think, to early testers of Banjo-Kazooie, which was Rare's other mascot platformer.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, or even the Mario 64, which of course set the standard for this type of game. But, I mean, it was going to come out, just probably forgettable. I mean, I see that gameplay footage of what it was before it became Bad Fur Day, and I'm just like, that's just not a game I'm interested in playing. I mean, I don't know. Maybe if it's unearthed or something somewhere down the line, and maybe somebody dumps a ROM of it, maybe I might check it out just to see what it is, but that would not have been the game for me to play. And that's why I largely kind of didn't really go for the N64 all that much, because, I mean, it was just not as mature as like the PlayStation or even the Saturn at the time,
Yeah, so even kind of then Nintendo was a little bit more family friendly, but Conker's Bad Fur Day was one of the games that really stood out, and I think like you said, the biggest part of that was its adult tone and style of humor, and Rare decided to do that specifically to distinguish this from other mascot platformers at the time. They also kind of experimented, I think, a little bit with the gameplay, whereas instead of being a collectathon or having kind of established gameplay mechanics that are consistent throughout, this one's kind of more of it's a very linear adventure, and each level kind of has its own gimmicks that are achieved through sometimes the context sensitive panels, or even the design of that level, especially in some of the later ones.
Yeah, context sensitive.
Exactly. I actually love that the game is breaks the fourth wall, is completely self-aware, kind of doing a kind of a Deadpool vibe here,
Very Deadpool. I mean, there's actual references even in Live and Reloaded. I mean, that had like references to the fact that it was like a port or a remaster or whatnot. You know?
It does, and
Yeah.
they poke fun at it. They're like, "Yeah, we decided to make this." The developers decided to make this first section a little bit different to trick you into thinking the rest of the game would be.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, they referenced that, and in the original game, I mean, you get a lot of that as well.
Yeah. So yeah, about the remake slash remaster, Conker Live and Reloaded, which we played. This one actually has a lot of advantages, I will say. Like if you're playing this game, you know, like in terms of presentation, at least. I mean, in addition to the visual overhaul, you know, where we even have kind of those individual hairs on Conker and the other characters. The control scheme has also been updated to just make a lot more sense and I guess make the controls a little bit more consistent across all the levels. You know,
we're just watching this gameplay up here, and we didn't get to this part. I kind of remember this, but he's like pissing on all the fire demons and everything. Now he's like puking or something. It's like, what the fuck, man?
This game is so all over the place.
It really is.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that kind of worked against it a little, though, right? I mean, it just felt like there was like a bunch of different ideas thrown in here, but I mean, they never really coalesced into much of anything.
No, and you know what was interesting was that this, I think, massively underperformed, if I recall, and wasn't even all that well critically received, right?
No, not really. I mean, even back then, people were saying that this game was very juvenile. It was, you know, crass for no other reason other than to be crass. And in many ways, they are right. I mean, it is what they were kind of going for here. But, I mean, I guess that maybe it was just the unevenness that I was talking about, you know? That unevenness in tone and the unevenness in, you know, gameplay mechanics. Like, that worked against it a little bit. You know, I mean, you're just kind of doing all these different types of mechanics, and it's just like, you know, pick one and stick with it, at least for the level. But it seems like there's there's like so many sub-levels to these larger levels, and they all have their own little, you know, gimmicks or mini game or whatever. And it's, I don't know. It started to, even though we didn't get that deep into it, I kind of saw how that could become grating over time.
Yeah, and I'll also say this is that once you get into the gameplay, it is pretty monotonous at times. I mean, there's a lot of like fetch quests and even just like doing the same thing over and over and over, like going back and forth. But the thing is and the argument that I'm going to make here is that this is a 420 game, because if you're high as fuck and you're playing this, you can kind of put it on and you don't mind so much. It's something that you can kind of just mindlessly do and have a great time.
Exactly. I mean, when you're high, like for some people, especially like for me, it's like that's the type of gameplay that you kind of stick to, you know? It's what helps pass the time through the level and everything, until you can finally kind of get everything done and get on to like the boss or whatever. So,
yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I actually didn't play Conker's Bad Fur Day as a kid. I played it much later, and the first time I played the game, I was very high.
I bet.
I was just blown, and I was in this weird mode where I'm playing Conkers and we're taking turns, so I'm also watching a buddy play Conkers, and like, you know, I've got like tunnel vision, and I'm actually really getting into it. You know, it is really a fantastic stoner game. I think that's like the one thing that Conker is missing, is that I don't think he ever smokes weed.
Yeah, I don't think that there was really very many weed references here in a way.
Yeah, you know,
in any way,
if they were gonna do a sequel later, which they should, you know, I would love to see. You know, like a whole like weed level, like a level where he just gets high as fuck.
Yeah, I don't know if new Conker game is going to happen. I kind of hear that the property is just kind of in limbo a little bit.
Oh, it sucks.
Yeah. But, I mean, maybe a new remaster would be good.
Yeah, or a full-on remake, like one that actually kind of takes on the game, from a gameplay design and
maybe
kind
even
of fixes some of the...
Maybe even rewrite some of the jokes, update certain things.
Some of the jokes have not aged. Actually, both the gameplay hasn't aged particularly well, and the jokes, some of the jokes haven't aged particularly well.
There's like literally like suicide jokes and everything.
Yeah, it's but it's trying so hard to be edgy that it's like you can't really get offended by it.
Well, it's that particular flavor of late 90s, early 2000s humor that was just, anything goes, especially when you get in like post 9/11 era. But this was pre 9/11 though, but it was a little more irreverent.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that this is right around the time that you start seeing like Family Guys coming out. You see some of the early Adult Swim stuff starting to coalesce a little bit. So, I mean, this strain of humor, I mean, it was definitely on its way into like the mainstream. I mean, arguably to a fault, but yeah, I can see where a lot of this humor, I mean, it's just of its time, and it's very yeah, I mean, it probably won't fucking stick well with younger people,
Yeah. So yeah, I would like to see a remake, one that maybe is kind of approached from a more modern angle, and kind of just take the concept and the story and just reimagine it. And they could probably go far with that. Now the remake / remaster that we did get Live and Reloaded, as I mentioned, in a lot of like aspects of presentation, it actually succeeds. In addition to the visual upgrade, as I mentioned, the controls are much more consistent and make a lot more sense throughout the game. The soundtrack, for instance, all of the tracks are replaced with live instruments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like chiptune style or anything. I mean,
yeah.
Kind of similar to how a lot of the Phoenix Wright music was eventually kind of redone with better instrumentation and whatnot, like more real instruments.
Yeah, and other than the occasional like new line, all of the lines from the original game are there, and are the original voice samples. They're just not compressed.
Yeah.
So I mean, in a lot of ways, the game's presentation is kind of the way it was really meant to be, or the way it was envisioned, I think. Which is cool, and Rare actually took overtook development of it. Rare was involved in this project rather than passing it off to another developer. So,
yeah, which was an interesting move for them. I mean, they were really known up to that point for very family friendly games and whatnot. I mean, they did Banjo-Kazooie for fuck's sake.
Yeah,
which is quite possibly one of the most, it's a little sarcastic and everything, but it's like the most saccharine gaming experiences you can have.
And keep in mind, they also did GoldenEye 007, which we covered as our last 420 special.
Yeah, that's right. We did, didn't we?
We actually did get to play that on original hardware. I wish we could have played this one.
Oh, this would have been great to play on Robert's N64. It would have been perfect. Yeah. Well, by the way, we do have Robert here in the studio with us. He's just not on mic at the moment.
Hey, guys.
Yeah, hey.
How's everybody doing?
Yep. Hey, say
Hell
hello
yeah.
to Robert.
Still beer?
Steal some more beer. Hell, give me another one. Shit.
And unfortunately, this game is hard to find, and it's pretty expensive. It's going to cost you upwards of $100, $200 in order to buy this. And what's crazy is we have the hardware. Just getting a hold of this cartridge would have been a hassle. We played the Conker Live and Reloaded on the Xbox.
Yeah, but we did
on our Xbox 360.
We did originally try to emulate this on RetroArch, but emulating this game is a nightmare. I mean, like even on RetroArch, even using the correct N64 core and whatnot, it still ran very sluggishly, like lots of dropped pixels and everything, dropped frame rates.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Stupid logo. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, get it. Marvelous. Well, there I am. Conker the King. King of all the land. Who'd have thought that? But how did I come to this, I hear you say? And who are those strange fellows that surround my throne? I hear you also say. Well, it's a long story. Come closer, and I'll tell you. It all started yesterday. And what a day that was. It's what I call a bad fur day.
So that was not doable. Now, this game is also playable on Xbox One as part of the Rare Replay collection, and I hear that that's honestly the best way to do it because it's the original game, not the remaster, but just ported over to the Xbox One and part of this library of a lot of other Rare games, which is cool. Unfortunately, Bo's Xbox One
is out of
functioning.
commission right now. I still need to get a power source for it. So
we had to dig out my old like beat up Xbox 360, and we managed to buy this game for like $7 or something.
Yeah, it's like nothing on the Xbox Live Store. So
yeah, surprised that we did in 2023. I can log on an Xbox 360 and go to the store and
still,
install an Xbox game.
Right, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, but yeah, no, the remaster is pretty good, except for the fact that all of the curse words are censored. That was kind of
that's jank as hell. It's like, come the fuck on, man.
And I don't know if the Rare Replay one is too, or if that's just an option. Because whenever I see gameplay online of the Rare Replay one, it's also censored.
Yeah,
but that may just give you the option in game, and if that's the case, good on them.
Yeah, you should definitely have the option to turn that on and off. I mean,
if you're playing Conker, it's kind of redundant, but
yeah,
just based on subject matter alone. This game goes into a lot of actually dark corners at times.
Oh yes, like for fuck's sake, you're literally in a level of shit. at one point. Like literal fucking shit.
And the Great Mighty Pooh is opera singing.
He's opera singing throughout the entire fucking fight.
It's the fucking awesome boss battle. As you damage him more and more, he sings another verse.
Oh, like whenever he does that, you throw the toilet paper at him. It's like, I mean, and also like a great vocal performance as well.
Seriously.
Like, it's what elevates that boss fight to like I said, one of the best like in gaming ever, I think.
Yeah, no kidding. That deserves a mention at some point on some kind of list. I mean, I think I've done like a top 5 boss battles list, and maybe we could do like a boss battle like recommendations.
Boss battle
Episode
recommendations.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I feel like yeah, that needs to go up there somewhere in the annals of Collateral Gaming.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
But yeah, no, Conker's Bad Fur Day is a total blast to play, man. It is such a good 420 game. So if you're enjoying 420, or you have been, and I mean, we know you're still smoking. We smoke every day. So, but I think the rest of April is kind of a celebration in its own right.
In a way, it is. I mean, 420 is practically the entire month, right, Robert?
Oh yeah, it's just like
Exactly.
no, yeah. It's like Christmas the whole month.
Yeah, pretty much it's Stoner Christmas. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So like, Conker's Bad Fur Day is one of those games that I think is just absolutely perfect to play this month, and then that's why we picked it. It is like, again, cultural sensitivities in mind. Obviously, I mean there are some jokes like I mentioned that just don't really they haven't aged well, but when you're looking at this like through the lens of that time and the brand of humor that it's angling at, it's
Yeah, man.
yeah, and it's so crazy. I mean, the whole time Conker Homeboy's just trying to get home, right?
That's all it really boils down to. He's just trying to get home to his girlfriend. In the end, he's just trying to get home to his girlfriend, and I mean, he just runs into all these weird characters, and also a sunflower with huge boobs.
Titillating or you have to tickle the titillating sunflower, right?
Yeah, something like that. And she's like, "Oh, get that big, long, hairy tail away from me."
And then you get to bounce on her tits.
It's like, okay, sure, bounce on some boobies. Why not?
Conker's Bad Fur Day. Bounce on sunflower titties.
Hell yeah. I think later on there's a cave woman and everything, and her boobs are like always like moving all over the place.
It rings a bell for me.
Yeah, it's like they just had to have the jiggle physics in this shit, right?
You got it, man. You got to go all out.
Dead or alive beach volleyball. God damn you.
But yeah, no, Homeboy's just trying to get home. That's the thing. And just all these like unfortunate circumstances are happening to him. It is truly a Bad Fur Day.
Yeah, and it's impressive how immersive it can be. Like even starting off at the actual like loading screen, the actual title screen and everything. It's actually in a bar with all these characters, and they're interacting with each other, and there's a band playing and everything, and
yeah,
that's where you like have all 3 of your game save files. That's where like the bar is where you can go for Xbox Live, which we didn't try. It would be really interesting as if in the year 2023 we can get on Xbox 360 and play Conker's Live and Reloaded with some people online. That would be crazy.
Yeah, I had my doubts, so we didn't try it, but
yeah,
maybe we should have just in case, right?
Would there even be any servers open for that? Like, would there be some fan servers maybe?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so.
It's like you would have to think. I mean, how old is that game? That game is at least 15 or 20 years old in its own right?
Probably a little bit older, right?
Maybe a little. No, Live and Reloaded would probably be a little less. Maybe 18, 19 years old, I would think.
Yeah, we're going to look it up.
Yeah, let's look that up because, I mean, I'm kind of interested because I know that the original game is over 20 years old.
Oh, Robert, hand me my phone.
It came out like I was in junior high.
Yeah, exactly. Came out like late 90s.
Well, this was on the original Xbox, so same console generation as, say, the GameCube and the PS2, right?
Yeah.
Early 2002, 2003.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
2005.
2005, as late as 2005, huh?
Yeah.
Damn, no kidding. Wow. Really, that's when the Xbox version came out? Nice. Dude.
Yeah, so you were right on the money. Between 15 and 20 years, it is. Yeah, yeah. Even that game in and of its own right was kind of fun to play. Like I really actually kind of liked that angle of it. Like we were high as fuck, and we were playing the almost 20-year-old remake / remaster of a
on original hardware and shit. It's like,
yeah.
God damn it.
We were trying to play your Zelda too, but we couldn't.
Yeah, that's
When we were on the Nintendo 64, I got that Majora's Mask cartridge.
but you didn't have the expansion pack.
Yeah. I need
Yeah.
the expansion pack. What's funny is I had one of those with my last 64 when I was a kid,
Yeah.
and I had so many games. Dude, I probably had like over 35 games, bro.
God damn
Yeah.
it.
So
35 in 64 games.
I gave it all to my cousin, and now I wish I'd never done that. You know?
Oh hell no. Yeah, that's terrible.
Man,
Damn
I
it.
wish we could track down Conker's Bad Fur Day for a reasonable price.
Maybe we could. I don't know.
I got Majora's Mask for 80, and I felt good about that.
That was actually a steal right there.
I feel like it was, and it's my favorite video game of all time. So like that was pretty cool. But yeah, I guess we'll sort of get into our final thoughts here on Conker's Bad Fur Day.
It's crass, it's lewd, it's a little janky here and there, but no matter what version you play, Conker's Bad Fur Day is still, I mean, at its core, a fun game. Like, I mean, and when a game is fun, like when you take all the bullshit away and it's still fun, I mean, that's a good sign to me, so that's why, I mean, whether you play the Xbox version or the N64 version, I mean, you might get something out of this. Just, don't expect anything like revolutionary here. Don't don't expect the humor to be on point all the time, but it's like, yeah, I mean, this game is still worth a playthrough, especially since, you can still, like we said, you can still go on an Xbox 360 and download this on the Xbox Live Store. So, I mean, yeah, go for it on this one. That's what I say.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm going to have to say, echo what we've been saying, kind of throughout the podcast, that this is an excellent game to play while smoking weed. It is going to be a good time. And like I said, if you're in the right mindset, you're not even going to mind that you're doing these like fetch quests and shit, because you're sitting there and chilling and maybe like having conversations while you're doing it. And that's what's kind of fun, is that this is a game that can make you laugh your ass off, at some points, even if it may not land on others.
Yeah.
And just kind of throw you into this nostalgic mood,
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, it dawns on me that a lot of early 3D games like this, they were very heavy on the fetch quests and everything. And I wonder if, people smoking the weed that we had at the time had something to do with that, like just, getting hyper focused on that shit, or like on grinding on like an old school RPG or whatever, I can't help but wonder if maybe that was kind of weed centric in its own right.
That's what I was gonna say. I think that's why like some of the fetch quest stuff isn't that bad when you're just blazed, because it's like whenever you're playing Final Fantasy and you're just level grinding. I mean, you can kind of just sit there and chill, and there are very few. Well, I'm not gonna say very few, but there's the selection of games that are weed friendly. That truly works when you're very, very high, are selective. It is a very specific type of game that's going to work. for differing reasons at times. But the main thing is that you can kind of check your brain out and kind of just absorb it.
I think that that's kind of the nature of online gaming as well, is that, you can kind of get into a match and then you can just kind of turn your brain off and just kind of get into the to the match and get into like capture the flag or whatever type of death match you're doing or whatnot.
Yeah,
I think that kind of has that component as well. That's also very weed friendly.
Yeah. I mean, any game, obviously, you can play high, but when you're very, very high and you're wanting to focus on that high and kind of just enjoy it, there's a very specific type of game that's going to enhance that experience or be enhanced by your condition. So, yeah, Conker's Bad Fur Day is 100% one of those games. I recommend that if you've got an Xbox One or even an Xbox 360 or a Nintendo 64 and access to this game, or hey, maybe you could find something we didn't and emulate it.
Yeah, exactly. If you can get this game working on emulation and get it working well, like, honestly, drop us a line and show us a video. Like, we want to see it, man. Like, I want to see if somebody out there can get this game working adequately on an emulator.
Yeah. We tried it on your PlayStation Classic, and we tried it on my computer.
Yeah, so send us whatever build you have, whatever ROM you're using. Like, let us know.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and buy it, dude. Like, I'm thinking of getting that Spider-Man 64 game.
Oh, Spider-Man 64. Fuck yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
I mean, I think you can find this game as low as $100 if you look for it. Obviously, I've seen some crazy lowball offers that there's obviously not.
We need to go to a garage sales and let's go to
That's kind of where you find this kind of shit, yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Goodwills or something, some sort of bargain meeting or swap meetings or something, right?
Hell yeah, bro.
I mean, you can always find some old games, right? Garage sales.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like a Haunted Majora's Mask cartridge, Bo.
Oh, yes, definitely. You can definitely find that.
And you can find Collateral Gaming wherever you get your podcasts. We are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, YouTube. You name it, we're there. And if we're not, let us know. Collateral Cinema you can find at all the other places as well, right, Bo?
Exactly. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and you can find us on all your favorite podcast apps, but especially on Good Pods. Give us a 5-star rating and review there, and help us climb the ranks on Good Pods and whatnot. And also do so on Podchaser.
Hell yeah! And we just did our 420 special on Clerks.
Oh yes,
that was on the cinema side. That was our 420 episode. That was a lot of fun. Robert, you were there. Yep.
I remember being there with Dale.
You remember it.
I remember it.
So go check that out if you haven't already. This month, I'd also like to do a collab on the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Hell yeah, man. Let's go check that out. I mean, that broke a lot of box office records globally. I mean, we should definitely see it.
Hell yeah. And then Corvette Summer was the Collateral Cinema season finale, right?
Yeah, whenever we finally do it. God damn it.
One more time and then do it, right?
Fuck it, right?
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
So as far as Collateral Gaming goes, of course, we have our 2 numbered episodes this month. We're going to be doing E.T. and Plumbers Don't Wear Ties. So we'll get those out by the end of the month or the beginning of May.
We should,
and then
we should 100% live stream Plumbers Don't Wear Ties.
Possibly. That is an idea.
That would be fun. Come on now, dude.
It would be fun.
That would be hilarious. I mean, it's pretty much just a movie that you can control. I mean, it's just, choose your own adventure shit.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we're going to be doing those. That's kind of finishing out April, possibly bleeding into May, but that's okay because May we are doing Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, which I probably want to have part 1, our spoiler-free review out, about a week after the game comes out or so, more than likely.
Yeah.
And then we'll be doing our full spoiler review whenever. I mean, even if that bleeds into June, that's fine. I half expect it to, just so that we can like explore everything that Tears of the Kingdom has to offer. I don't know if 100%ing it is going to be possible because considering Breath of the Wild's 100% requirements. But yeah, I'm really, really stoked about it.
Awesome.
So yeah, stick around for that. And then that'll be our season finale. So we're closing out the season 5 of Collateral Gaming and season 6 of Collateral Cinema. And it's been a fun season, hasn't it?
It really has. I've had a lot of fun. Right, Robert?
Oh,
Yeah, Robert, get on the mic.
I guess we're going into season 7, right? And it's been a hell of a ride.
Right?
It's a beautiful ride. Oh, sorry.
It's been a beautiful ride, right? Exactly.
Fucking A, bro.
Fucking A.
But yeah, I guess y'all enjoy the rest of your April. I mean, it is the 420 season still. I mean, it's kind of like, you know, those days after Christmas where it's still kind of, you know, it's wintry.
It's still Christmas, pretty much. You
Yeah.
know, all the way till at least New Year's.
Well, at least till New Year's, right? You know, 420 kind of has that. It's like up until the end of April, it's still the season of
smoking and getting high.
yeah. I was gonna find a fun way to say that.
Yeah, no, you see, yeah, you're getting all zonked out, you know, just like I am, bro.
As it should be, bro.
And yeah.
Remember that 420 episode of Workaholics?
Oh shit, yeah,
The whole house decorated like it was Christmas.
oh fuck yeah, man.
Fuck yeah.
Next time we do that, we should do a video podcast and we should just decorate it with a bunch of weed shit. Let's just decorate with weed shit all over the place.
Hell yes.
Hell yeah.
Alrighty, well, with that being said, I've been Ashley Chancellor.
And I think I'm Bo Maddox, but I'm too high, so I'm not sure.
I'm still here, I guess. I'm
Yeah.
guest hosting. I guess I'm a guest host right now.
Guess
Yep.
background host.
Background host of Robert Ortegon. Fucking A, dude.
Alrighty, this has been the Collateral Gaming 420 special, and smoke it if you've got it.
Happy 420.
Merry Christmas.
Collateral Gaming is a Collateral Media podcast. All music and game clips are owned by their respective creators and are used for educational purposes only. Please don't sue us. We're poor.